Hello. The technical difficulties. I'm not technologically inclined, I guess. I just know how to film skate clips. Would definitely love to talk with Rose. Technical difficulties. Oh yeah, I think we're getting on something here. All right, hopefully this does something.
It's connecting.
Yo, did it connect?
Yeah,
Woo!
the hype. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. No, thanks for having me.
All right. So I'm hoping everybody will be joining on to here with us. Looks like we got some people coming in. And so first of all, the reason why I wanted to do this was to hear the youth's voice. Because I know you have a lot to say, and just from that post yesterday, so many people were really hyped on you. Hey,
Yeah, no,
like it's
it,
cool.
it's really touching, because I'm just trying to get them hyped, I'm just trying to teach them,
Yeah.
make them little beasts on a board.
I like that. Beasts on a board.
Yeah.
That's it. Little tiny tots.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know we follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I just want to just let everyone know who's joining. So I'm Rosie. I'm one of the founders for Nation Skate Youth. And so last year we did a really amazing job getting out there and getting the support from everybody in the skateboard community. And because of COVID, we can't really visit a lot of the communities, right?
Yeah.
That we want to, even though we are being invited and we are going to take small groups and continue to spread the love, give out the skateboards. And this year I wanted to focus more on a lot of how the youth are coping with COVID. You know, how is their mental health? What are you doing? Do you have suggestions? So anyway, this is what it started, and I just wanted to really hear from the youth. And I've been following you, and that photo yesterday really got me so pumped, just seeing the smiles on the kids' faces. And you're doing it, and would really love to hear. So if you would like to introduce yourself, where you're from, your name, your nation.
No, of course.
We'll start there.
Forgive me if I slip up on my words. I'm a little nervous too. My full name by birth was Julian John McLeod, and then my mom got married, so my last name changed, and everyone knows me as Julian John Hine or Julian Hine.
Okay.
Recent nicknames, Jules, and the kids have made one for me, Mr. Dude, and I really hold that new nickname close to my heart.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking. I'm blessed. The kids are amazing. I'm from the Paw, Manitoba. That's a northern Manitoban town.
Okay.
And the reserve is called Opaskwayak Cree Nation, OCN for short.
Okay.
There's a skate scene out there. I'm from Winnipeg, so I've never really lived in my reserve. I have family there. They live out there. I also have family in Cumberland House, Saskatchewan, but I've never been there.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Well,
then
seems like you want to do some traveling, hey?
yeah, no, totally. Totally. And if anyone watching this is related to Constance and Satis, we're potentially cousins.
Oh, I'm sure you got a lot of cousins out there.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one story actually where the skate park here in Winnipeg, a new skater, I noticed he had the same last name as my family.
Okay.
And we did background search and we were related. It was like
Whoa,
it was like,
that's
whoa, Graham, we're related. You know?
that's sick.
Yeah.
So the skate park that you were at, that's in Winnipeg.
Yeah, the West Broadway one. That's two
Okay.
minutes from my apartment.
Okay. I heard that Winnipeg has a huge population of Indigenous people. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, there seems to be like a lot of us, and so in turn, the indigenous skate scene is pretty large too. And
Yeah, that's amazing.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. I never. It kind of dawned on me recently that like that fact of like we have the highest indigenous population. You know,
Hmm.
because like it's just evident. You know, they're just like you just see your people around. You know,
Yeah.
and it can be like good and bad because you know obviously like our people they deal with you know substance abuse or like
Yeah.
you know criminal backgrounds or you know what I mean they have to overcome certain issues in their lives
Hmm.
and I feel like for me skateboarding has helped me like overcome those issues when I ran into them
Yeah.
and and that's more or less why I'm like reaching out to the kids because like if they ran into trouble they can skate you know
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean
Hmm.
yeah
I feel like it's a good way to escape reality sometimes. When
yeah
they don't want to go home or they just want to get away and do something and be in the present moment and not worry about tomorrow or what. So that's really cool that, like what is the age range that you usually skate with out there?
Well, like it seems to be all ages now. Like
Yeah.
because now that the youngins like I've established this connection. It just kids like old and young. Like Mr. Dude, like show me a trick. Yo, Mr. Dude, like I landed, you know, it's really amazing.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Question, where did you get your Instagram name from? I'm
Okay, so
curious.
the origin story behind that, it's not my Instagram, it's my girlfriend Era's. And
Okay.
there was just a period of time, maybe a year, she never made a post. And
Hmm.
we were in Vancouver attending my younger sister's wedding, and you know, got some clips. And I just made a bad move and posted a clip, and here we are. You know,
Oh,
yeah,
so you took it over.
yeah. Well, you know, we
Okay.
share it. We share it.
You
Yeah,
share? Oh, that's cute.
yeah, yeah.
um, oh, I had a question for you, and I want to hear like because we want the youth that come to our workshops to be proud of who they are and where they come from. And I say it time and time again, because it took me up until I was 30 to let people know that I was from a reserve and I was indigenous and like I don't know, the shame just was kind of like a natural thing that happened to me, and I kind of rolled with it for way too long. But like now I really like just want to pass that message along, and I want to learn from the youth as well. So my question to you is, what traditions and culture are you looking forward to passing down to the younger generation?
I feel like this is gonna be a large answer, so just bear with me.
I like that. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Well, obviously, like I I've had the privilege of going to Sweat Lodge and like go to attending a fast and And if anyone listening to this and has that connection, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I definitely recommend, starting your journey,
Yeah.
and doing the inner work. And, because that'll, it also inspires yourself, but like it inspires people around you seeing the work that you're doing, you know? That kind of leads me into like my next tradition. Um, I've had the privilege of going down to Peru in 2017, and the South Americans, they have a traditional way of life down there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's beautiful and powerful. And some of the people in their spiritual community can paint their visions. So there was this art gallery down there called USCO AR,
Okay.
USKOAYAR, internationally known gallery, incredible paintings. Um, One painter I befriended, Limbert Gonzalez, amazing painter, amazing tradition. Like I only have like good things to say about Peruvian people, and they're like working with Manitobans. There's like this like kind of bridge of indigenous people working with other indigenous people, like
Okay.
North Americans and South Americans. So yeah, just again, not if that's like fully answering your question, but I'm just like I want to pass down that want or need to be a part of ceremony,
Mm-hmm.
that like answers the question.
What so I've been to, traditional sweat lodges as well. I went to the my first one in the city um maybe 5 years ago or something like that.
Nice.
And the heat was
So
really crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's traditional, not like when you're a little kid and you're like, oh, I need to get out, it's so hot, and then they tell you just to lay down and tough it out. So I kind of grew up with elders saying that to me, tough it out, lay on the ground. um, and then so now, I go back and it's like they put the rocks in there and they're really close to your feet, and there's someone who's putting medicine on each rock, which we say it's the great grandmothers and great grandfathers coming into the sweat lodge with you. And I brought a friend there, and on the second round, he couldn't take it anymore because the heat was going to make him pass out. He felt like he was going to die, essentially.
Whoa.
That's what he said. Um, so the medicine man, he told me something that stuck with me. And he said that when you are pushed, like this could be with anything in your life. So when you're pushing yourself, to your fullest capacity and you want to give up, that strength, that inner strength that we all hold, that doubt that we have within ourselves, that is a way for us to see and push our spirit, to see how strong our spirit is. So the message was to not give up, to keep in that sweat lodge, to keep doing that skateboard trip, to keep on that path, and to like not give up. So, he was saying like just tell your friend that he's kind of got a weak spirit. And I didn't really know how to tell him that,
Yeah,
because it, like,
that
when it comes from an older guy, like an elder, you want to listen to him. You want to like take that in and be like, okay. And so anyway, that was the message that I got from the last sweat lodge I went to before COVID, because we don't have any ceremonies or sweat lodges happening right now in the city. But back on my reserve, you can go to a family sweat, and that's okay.
oh, that's
So what was your first experience like? Like, when did you start getting into the sweat lodges?
I uh I ran in well, I'm an alcoholic, right? So I wanted to start doing something about it, and I started noticing, occupying my time with ceremonial living,
Yeah.
traditional living, like was filling that void, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I went back to partying, which like I regret. Like I'm off now. Like I went through a relapse,
Yeah.
but like I lost those connections to the sweat lodge, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've been, you know, like I can totally like ask, but you know, I'm still shameful that I went back, you know?
It's okay though. Like,
But you know what I mean?
I
It's
mean,
like holding yourself so high to like high
yeah,
standards, you know?
you know, people fall off and fall off the wagon per se. You know, like I've been sober for a lot of my adult life, but the 6 years I drank, it was completely like it wasn't me,
Yeah.
you know? And it took an elder, like when I was talking to an elder and I said that I wanted to start something for the youth and I wanted to start my own sweat lodge and
No.
in a women's center, a youth center. And that was my dream 2 years ago in the fall. And she told me, Rosie, if you want to do that, you have to stay true to yourself. And it took me a while to really think about that and what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
It means that I can't go to communities and do the work that Nations is doing if I'm on the wagon and I'm drinking every weekend and so falling off the wagon, I think, you know, it's okay. If you get back on there, good for you. You know, like I see what you're doing out there and it's huge. I think these kids are going to look at you in 2 months, 5 years, 20 years from now and remember you. You know, you're going to be that impact that we needed when we were youth. That's you. So don't be so hard on yourself,
Yeah.
is my advice. And yeah, like it's a quick spliff. I love it. It's a part of your journey. And we're all here for each other. And that's why Nations wants to do more of these live talks, is to let y'all know that you're loved. You know, we fucking it's you're our next generation. And I'm glad that you figured that out so young. You know, like it's better for you to figure out that so young than to be like 50 years old. Maybe you won't even make it to 50 years old. I don't know. Like that's the reality of it, of living that lifestyle. I've seen it.
Totally.
So congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you.
Really heavy conversation. I apologize. I kind of thought that, you know, like speaking of mental health this way, it's not an easy topic.
It isn't. It totally is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll get into something a little bit lighter. We'll switch it up. Tell me how you got into skateboarding.
So I'm gonna like name drop some people in my life that I feel need name dropping.
Rad.
Tony Hawk, pro skater.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, never heard of that guy. So I started in 2001, and I was a gamer. I was like, you know, like I could still game, but like I was like die hard gamer, you know. And I rented Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 enough times to where like my mom could have bought it, kind of thing. And one day playing this game, I was like, oh man, like I should get a skateboard and play this game in real life, kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see it as a possibility until I seen another indigenous kid like in the distance oiling like a manhole, you know?
Yeah.
And then like I'm on a trampoline, he's in the distance, we kind of spot each other, we talk. And I'm so mesmerized by this kid's ability. I follow him like naturally as one does. And he like enters a house, and I'm assuming that's his house. And again, we're kids, you know, like I'm like 12 or something.
Yeah.
Ask my mom for a board. I just go to his house and I meet Mike Black and his family. And 20 years later, here we are.
Wow.
Nah.
That's
And
sick.
also, his family influenced me in a really large way that I feel like I want to get into now. They
Mm-hmm.
would uh, they would take like kids and children from like, they were foster parents. That's what I'm trying to get at. They were foster
Yeah.
parents. So
Okay. Mm-hmm.
you would meet, I thought it was like Mike Black's blood brother, but it was like a foster. And then like that child would share their story, and it blew me away. It was like, wow, like this family is helping other children, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And not just like one. We're talking about like tons throughout the years, and like raising them, and like, like, and it makes me want to like do what they're doing, you know?
That's awesome. You grew up in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
There's a lot of legends that come from Winnipeg.
Crawley. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, Joe Buffalo told me that you grew up with him or skated with him. I mean, within 20 years, for sure, you crossed paths.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Um, when I got into skating, there was this like young filmer by the name of Charles Barangian.
Okay.
I'm probably mispronounced his last name, but and again, to like give you an idea, it's like 2002, 2003, and he's got like a video cam, so it's like, man, like how does this kid have camera type thing,
Yeah.
and he's got laptop and all that. And so he shows me a clip of Jason Crawley ollieing this like four set at Daniel McIntyre School. And it's just, I've never fathomed like skateboarding could be that insane, you know? It was the first clip I'd seen of Crawley, and then like, see Crawley in like real life at like Sergeant Park indoor park, or like seeing his footage, and I could not believe it. I could believe it, but like, you know what I mean? Like you're blown away. It's like he's a star, like.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to go to his house, and I'll be honest, like I didn't even talk to him. I was too starstruck. I was like, oh, I'm in Jason Crawley's way. I'm gonna get out of his way. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
And you guys had what is it? Red apple? Oh, green apple? Red apple.
Yeah.
Green. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I filmed some stuff for them. I tried to like, film some stuff. It never really worked out, but
Yeah.
some projects don't work out. It happens.
Mm-hmm. Sick. So you've been on the board for a while. When was the last time you came out to the West Coast, to Vancouver?
When my sister got married in 2018.
Oh,
Yeah. Or no, 2019. Sorry.
that's sick.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I seen some like just some comments yesterday from like some homies that I looked up to out here, and they were like, "Oh, you're the best," and like I was like, "Wow, it's so rad that so many people know you," because honestly, like seeing an indigenous skateboarder back in the early 2000s was few and far between.
Right.
Like even for me, I knew this girl Jade in Vernon. When Slam City Jam, I started going to Slam City Jam.
Sick.
I heard of Joe Buffalo, and then my first experience meeting him was at like a West 49 contest back in like Mississauga or something,
Oh.
and I was like, whoa! Like I think he just got on Billabong back then, and
That's
so like
sick.
I was just like, oh my god! Like I was so stoked, but yeah, I was so intimidated as well. I was like, that's Joe Buffalo, like. Dude, I just wanted to go up to him and be like, I'm Indian too. Like, like we're cousins or mixed. I don't know. It was so amazing to see. And now that Joe is on, like we're doing nations together, it's like a freaking dream. So,
For real.
like I think that like I do believe in a lot of like manifesting and like truly thinking of like what you want to do. Like I was actually telling Taryn, um, like after the art show, and rest in peace, Taryn. Fucking love you. He was telling me about a film that he wanted to do, and it was he wanted to do it really on nations. That's what it kind of sounded like. So I was like, oh, who's gonna play Rosie? And he's like, you are. And I was like, dude, like, so I told him, be careful what you say because it becomes reality really quick.
Wow.
Because that's what happens with like nations and like a lot of the things that I've been blessed to do in my life is because I've written it down. I've thought about it endlessly, and then shit, man, like this, we're here today.
Yeah,
Here we are. Yeah, for sure.
and thank you
So
so much. Like honestly, like
yeah, like it's nice to have these conversations. And I wanted to ask you as well, like how have you been coping with COVID for the past 2020 and 2021, and like other than skateboarding, you know, because we know skateboarding is very healing.
totally.
But so I just wanted to hear, like, what else are you doing?
This may seem like a funny answer. I've been watching a lot of movies,
Mm-hmm.
like old. We have a VCR, so I've just been going to the thrift store and just like old classics that bring like nostalgia. You know, they kind of bring me to a time before this. You know, when people could,
Yeah.
when people could, you know, not worry about a pandemic. And like Robin Williams movies, for example. You know, I really liked him as an actor,
Yeah.
and I felt like his, you know, he kind of like suffered from depression too, and you know what I mean. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's just something about him that, you know. So like Good Morning Vietnam. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It's like
Love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Recently purchased that, or a part of the reason too is because with the filming aspect, you know, like skating, you know, you get the angles.
Yeah.
And then with film, it's the same thing. It's like angles and like shots, you know, and that's been like occupying my time. It's like a new interest, you know. So it's like, oh, you know, keep rewatching like Wedding Singer, and then like, you know, love certain parts, you know, or the soundtrack, or you know, like,
Yeah. You know what I thought would be really cool is to have the first Turtle Island bring all the skaters together
oh, that'd be
and friggin' put out a
that'd be
video, because that's never been done, you know? Like, that's something. The Wedding Singer. Oh, shit. Yeah, those are classics. But yeah, speaking of like filming and things like that, you know, because when Nations started and hearing, like having people DM us from all across Turtle Island and being like, yo, come to my reserve. And like, I wish we could hit them all. Like, we can't even cross the border right now, I think, even with our status cards. So I wanted to do a no border tour. And you know, like, but first I would love to go to Winnipeg to meet you,
oh
to
yeah,
see what you're up to. I know this girl, Jamie Isaac. She's trying to get funding to do a skate park on her reserve, which is by Winnipeg. And she wanted Nations to go out there. Like, she was thinking September, October. So, you know, that could possibly happen. We want it to happen.
That's exciting.
Yeah, see, a nation skate video. I think that would be amazing. To see the up and coming youth rise. That's what we want.
I was watching some of your guys' videos, and I really like the part where you have them talking about their skate sesh.
That made me cry.
Really love that. Like
Mm-hmm.
the part where he's like, I just pretended that you were holding my hand. Like that,
Yeah.
like I was just like, oh man, like
Yeah.
bless that child.
And It's honestly amazing to you give them time, and I feel like that's all we need to do is to listen, to not judge each other, you know, like to love each other, to support each other. There shouldn't be conversations of stopping people from going to a skate park because they're scared, you know. Like, I know when Plaza was first built, I would go at night and I would skate by myself at nighttime. And like now I don't feel that way. Now I feel like I could go there and I know people and I can yell, be like, oh, you're such a fucking snake. Like, I don't want to be the old lady that goes there and yells around, but like, sometimes you just got to get her done. And sometimes we all go there to skate. We all have our own shit we're going through. And we just want to get out there and push like everybody else.
Yeah.
And if I have to call out people, I'm gonna call them out because I feel like I've put my time in, and I don't want to be that person that says, "Oh, I've been skating for years." Like, I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm there. I'm, to get off my couch and to grab my board and to go skateboard. And if it is busy, I'll stand around and I'll clap. I'll give them props. Yeah, right. Like, sometimes I go there and I just feel like I fucking stand there and I clap and yell and yo, I was sick, and like, I think we just need yeah, Michelle. I love it here, but I just feel like we need more of that,
Yeah.
like, we need to raise our voices as Indigenous people, as Indigenous youth. We need to make those skate parks safe for everybody, and I feel like what you're doing out there with the kids is you're not only being their mentor, is you're giving them confidence. And you cannot buy that at a store. You cannot, it's something that, like, you're gonna raise these kids to be strong, independent, young, Indigenous youth. And I thank you so much for doing the work that you're doing over there. And I do, it's not preaching, because I heard I was preaching to the wrong choir once and that kind of bummed me out. I'm just speaking the truth from the heart. So thank you for giving me that time to do that.
Feel it. No, absolutely.
So what is your message to the youth?
I was thinking about this, and I'd written down a lot of stuff.
That's amazing. Let's hear it.
And if you want to be great, you got to be willing to work for it. And then pretty much everything else is like, if you like whatever you want to become, keep doing it. Like, you want to be an artist, keep drawing to become that artist. You want to be a musician, keep playing instruments to be that musician, become that musician. You want to become an actor, keep acting, keep, writing the storyboards, like, to become that actor, to become that director, keep taking photos to become the photographer that you want to become, just keep doing the things that make you happy. And, once you get good at it, maybe you can teach other people, which is also a good feeling too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just don't give up,
Exactly. I think we need to hear more of that. And we also need to take time to let people like you don't give up.
Thanks.
You're doing a good job.
Thanks.
You're killing it out there.
I just want to give a shout out to Sean Anibis and Travis Nemeth. They both gave me a perspective about helping children that I didn't have. And so, like, it kind of clicked something toward now I want to, like, give them a board, give them a sticker, give them a shoe. You know what I mean? Just to, like, keep them going, keep them eating,
Mm-hmm.
I got
That's sick.
Yeah.
This is something that I want to work on for myself, and I need to reach out to youth to know if I'm on the right track or not. So when you were going through a hard time, you got back on that wagon, You got back on that path. What were the things that you wanted to hear? What were the resources that you wanted to see? Because advice like this from the youth is going to help me pass that knowledge on. So if you can talk a little bit about, like, you know, we all go through our struggles, and I know I just, you know, for you to get back to on your path, I'm really inspired by that, like 100% inspired.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the words right now. Like, because I have people in my life that are currently in the struggle, and so I'm just trying to like figure out what I could say to potentially inspire them.
Hmm.
But you know, sometimes it just like enough time goes by that you want to make that change again. You know, like I feel like everyone knows how to live that bad habit life. They don't know how to like remove the habits, but once you start accomplishing that feat of changing your habits, the when people in your life start seeing it, that's the part that I feel keeps moving you. Or
Yeah.
but again, like I feel like I might be like not answering the question correctly. Uh like I just feel like it's an inner journey, and for me, like I want okay, now I know. I never met a sober person in my life, and I wanted to be that sober person in someone's life. That,
That is amazing.
that's what
Yes.
that's what it was. It was like, you know what? Like I want
Yeah.
to be that sober person. I want to, you know, I want to
Hmm.
be that person that like can help someone with addiction, you know,
That's amazing.
and I just, you know, well, I have to be sober, you know, like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I can't tell you enough that how much that means to me, because you look in the mirror one day and you realize, damn, more people have blackout stories of me than good ones.
Yeah, yeah,
And where do I stop that?
yeah.
How do people see me for me? You know, and it kind of sucks when you go, but like, or I had to just accept it. Oh, that one time, Rosie, you were so drunk, and kids found me passed out on Main Street, and
Oh,
that was my last straw.
yeah,
That was not me. And yeah,
yeah.
but you gotta work on yourself. I agree with that. I think looking in the mirror and being like, I don't want to be that drunk Rosie anymore, you know, and
Drunk.
change my whole Instagram name and everything. but but thank you for mentioning the sweat lodge, because you know, it's huge in our culture,
Yeah.
in our tradition. Um, being what our community calls me is an urban member because I live in the city.
Nice.
um,
Probably be called that too.
yeah. um, but you know, I do have a dream one day that nations will have our own sweat lodge, that we can reach out to people and welcome everybody. We don't have enough of that. Um, I I had a few people in my life having a really hard time a couple days ago, and I just wanted to burn some sage for them, and I wanted to show people that,
Shout out.
you know, it's a part of our culture to burn medicine, to send up those prayers to our creator, to ask for help, and to not be ashamed of it is huge, you know. And it brought me back to, like, why was I ashamed of it when people have come to Canada? This Canada, where this is, you know, we hear a lot about it. This is our land. This is our, you know, like, we need to stick to that. Like, it means so much to me to go out and gather medicine. Like me and Dustin went out and picked a bunch of sage in the summertime, and we're going to give it to youth when we see the youth.
Nice.
And I give them a shell and some sage in a bag, and I'll ask them, do you guys know what this is? Do you know what this is? And some kids will be like, oh yeah, like my mom burns it or something, you know? So like, I feel like it's neat when it comes from like, I want to call myself a youth. I'm not really a youth, but like when it comes from us to say, yeah, like burn this sage when you're going through a rough time, you know, balance yourself out. A lot of teachings about the medicine wheel even. Were you taught about the medicine wheel when you were a kid?
I wasn't raised with indigenous ideology. I had to like discover that my own,
Okay.
you know, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I like the like I'm not I would need a refresher on the medicine wheel is what I mean.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'll show you this one. This was Dustin made this. I think
Oh,
maybe it was one of his first ones that he beaded. I'm not too sure. But I'll tell you a quick little story about what I learned growing up, because I went to the school on the reserve. Was they taught us the medicine wheel is to balance yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Keep your spirit, you know. All of the 4 directions are in here. All of the seasons are in here. And when you take time to balance out those 4, you know, it may start off with being on the red road. Maybe you're not on the red road. It's okay. It's something that I hold this really close, because we all want to be the best that we can be, right?
yeah.
And I appreciate everyone that's watching on the live, getting to know a little bit about us. And Jules, I really appreciate your time and your honesty. I think honesty is huge right now. You know, you're not sweeping anything under the rug right now, and I really love that. You know, like you're doing such good work over there.
Thank you. No, and I just want to like thank you and thank the viewers too, like with you. Like thank you everyone. You know?
Yeah, it's really neat. I've been kind of seeing some comments going through, and I would love to I would love to read, you know, some of them, but I feel like we're talking the good talk, and yeah, definitely not trying to preach to anyone around here. Just trying to be us and trying to do that good work that has been missing from the skateboard community for so long. You know,
Yeah.
like we don't want to be pushed aside. We don't want to be looked at as a statistic, and that's looking at resources that nations needs to give out. Is I see the statistics of suicide. I see the statistics of the residential school. I've been hearing wild stories about the residential school, and I'm surprised I'm not, honestly, I'm really surprised that I'm not gone, you know?
Yeah.
Like
No,
intergenerational trauma is huge, and we need more resources to help youth out there. And I just wanted to share something that I found. I'm like gonna start crying. I'm sorry.
no,
But,
no problem. Like it's like our hearts are in a right place, you know, and I think that's why like we're emotional, you know.
So I just want to let everybody know that there's a Hope for Wellness, a helpline. The Hope for Wellness helpline offers immediate help to all Indigenous people across Canada. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They offer counseling, crisis intervention. They have a toll-free line, and you can go to their website, hopeforwellness.ca. Check it out. I think that's huge, that not a lot of people have the strength to ask for help. And I feel like, you know, to do the work is to spread the knowledge as well. So I just wanted to take everyone's time to acknowledge if you're going through a hard time right now and you need to reach out. Feel free. You know, that's what Nations is here for, and youth like you. So any last words? I feel like we've been here for a hot minute, but is there any last words that you want to share with us?
I just want to, like, you know, send love to, like, all the people who need it. Because I know people are, like, going through, like, a hard time, like COVID or not COVID, or loss, or, you know, substance abuse. I love you, Buckles.
Oh, I know Buckles.
Yeah,
I was with him in Barcelona.
yeah,
Actually. That guy
yeah.
rips. Yeah, big love, Buckles.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, just no, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to share my story. This is like the first interview I've ever had, so like I'm like stoked. Like,
dude, you killed it. You're ready for a TED Talk now.
But yeah, no, like, again, thank you. And, you know, I would love to continue to work with, like, Nation Skate Youth, and, you know, just make this move forward, and, you know, inspire as much kids as we can.
Definitely. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everyone, for your time, for having that coffee or tea, and joining us. I hope you all learned something today or just took something away. And I really feel like, yeah, I'm just reading this thing. I just seen suicide on there. I've taken a course. You know, I mean, we need to raise our youth to be leaders.
Absolutely.
And I think just having this time, and stay tuned, everybody, because we're going to be doing this every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. No. So we have Joe that will host the next one, and then Dustin and Tristan, and we'll have youth from all over Turtle Island. And honestly, thank you all for supporting Nations and the youth out there. It really, we can't do this by ourselves, you know. There's so much youth. I don't know if you know the statistic, but Indigenous youth are the fastest growing youth in North America.
Nice.
The education that they get, though, if they were to rate the education, it's 63rd in the world.
Oh no.
And we need to do better. We need to pull together. If it's us educating them in certain little ways like this, let's do it. You know?
No.
Let's freaking do it. I love how, like, I don't know, you just seeing you, it's, I don't know, makes me smile. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. So we'll do this next Saturday at 10 a.m. Someone else. Joe will be hosting.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to miss it. So I hope you don't either. So, yeah, my last words to everyone is get your skateboard and go skate. I don't know. No, for real, though. Like, it's a healing way. Totally. And big love to everybody. And I do want to do a quick shout out to Quick Spliff. You know, that guy's dope.
Love you,
got some good energy. Yeah, right? So thank you so much, and maybe we'll come up with a name for these series. And yeah, look into the medicine wheel if you haven't. Research your local indigenous community and see how you can help out.
You got it.
Okay. Freaking big love, everybody. Happy Saturday.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you.
Signing off.
Sign
10 forward.
off.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.